Everybody in the Aftershoot world. We're going to give everyone a few minutes to tune in, and then we'll start introducing. And I'm going to make sure that I can share this on over to the Aftershoot community as well. For those who are already tuned in, if you could please let us know where you're tuning in from. We'd love to see you in the chat interacting with us. And we've got our first viewer. Yay, Jessica Whitaker. Hello, hello.
Hi, Jessica.
Hi, Jessica. Sorry, I'm over here trying to share it into the community. Matthew Clark from the UK. Jessica's from Seattle. Sandra. Hello, Sandra. I believe they're somewhere pretty cool. We have Austria in the house. That's amazing. We're just sorry. What I'm gonna do. I have Gary Evans. Hey, Gary. What I'm gonna do? I'm actually gonna introduce Veronica right away because I was gonna do a big talk up to it, but I have to figure out how to share this into the community. So she's gonna take over. But for right now. I'd love to introduce the amazing head of partnerships, our president of partnerships, Veronica Benson. No relation. No, I'm just kidding. She's my amazing wife and a vital part of us here at Aftershoot. And we wanted to sit down and talk about the Create Together Fund a little bit. So while I figure out how to make this live appear in other places, she's gonna just entertain you guys for a minute.
Hi, everyone. Thank you very much to join us. Thank you for supporting us. And this live is special for us because it's something as a photographer, and then everyone is here. Kelly, Francisco, Anthony, and all of you guys, Jessica, Sandra, you guys know how important it is for us, for Aftershoot, for our family, that create community, the supporting group together, and that is one of our missions and Aftershoot. So this live is very special. We want to share with you guys what is that Create Found, what do we want to do, and what this is about. So if you have a friend and they don't know, please start texting, send a text and invite it to come here, and they can ask a lot of questions because we are ready to talk. We are ready to share ideas and take this to the other world.
Okay, so I'm done fiddling with that. I could not get it to share over. So instead of just being a bump on the log
We
here,
love you, Sandra.
yeah, I see so many amazing people. Everyone tuning in: Francisco, Raulio, Kelly, Paul from the
Jen.
Philippines, Jen Stitt. Hello.
Jen.
Kiati is here too. So yeah, this is a pretty monumental thing for us here. So we'll get started. We let some people kind of trickle in. But I think it's a good time to get this ship sailing. So we wanted to have this live because for us, there's a big initiative here at Aftershoot that we're really proud of. And that's something that hopefully you got to see the email about it or seen some social media posts. But we've introduced what's called the Create Together Fund. And the idea behind this fund was to find a way to essentially unite photographers and help build community. And it's something that we're really proud of and really excited for because we want to see the industry grow together, and we want to see photographers interacting and having in-person events, doing things that aren't necessarily just live streams somewhere, but rather getting together, learning together, growing together, and creating new communities within their space. When I started photography quite a long time ago, there used to be groups in my state. So I'm based in Connecticut, and there used to be groups in my state. It was like the Pictage user group for Connecticut. And I remember that when Instagram first came out, or first started to be a real power marketing tool for photographers, I went to a course. It was taught by a really talented photographer named Anna Sawin. And so I went, they held this event in person, and there was like 30 or 40 of us, and we all gathered around, and she said everything she knew and taught us all the things about marketing on Instagram, which for us at that time was something that I didn't know anything about. Right. And so it was such an empowering moment. And unfortunately, for me, at least in our state, that kind of hemisphere, that whole interacting and having these community based events, they kind of faded. So that group totally dissipated out of the face of the earth at one point. But there hasn't been anything that's come in to replace it. And through a lot of talks with different photographers, there's definitely a yearning and a want to get together and have these in-person events and learn things together. And that's where this idea of the Create Together Fund came from. Is what if we set aside $1 million? So it's $1 million fund that we set aside to allow photographers to reignite that, right? To especially, get more photographers together and united in person. And Jessica's saying, yeah, especially post COVID, and that's very true.
Yes, that's very true, because before COVID, we actually attend to this kind of meet and greet and meet more photographers in our area and sharing ideas. But then after COVID, everything stopped, and we couldn't share. And this is what the Creative Fund it is. As a company, our mission is create create a community, but also united us, know each other, be together. And that's what we want for you guys. We want to give it the opportunity to our ambassadors, to educators, also to share to the community and give this opportunity, then put people together and share to them what are they want to bring, the value they want to if they don't know more people in your town, in your area, just let's do something. If you want, you guys can ask questions here. If you guys would like to have some ideas that what we can do, you guys know I love ideas, and I can drop some ideas here. And that's what we want to do. And the something that I want to highlight is because we have a beautiful and amazing group of people that already submitted, but also because we're going to read your submission, we're going to read what is you guys idea, and we want to see your soul. What we want to see is, what do you miss of being a community, what do you want to be together, what is the reason that you guys would like to do it. This is a unique opportunity that our family for Aftershoot is doing, and we would like to see your soul when you guys make the submission. So you guys ask us all the questions you guys want to
Yeah, and
ask.
that's a great point. So this is kind of like a grant opportunity, right? That's the best way to kind of relate it. So the idea is that you would head to the site, you'll apply for this funding, and the funding is going to vary, right, depending on the type of event and what you're looking to do. And we want to make sure that when you're applying, and I think it's really important to do so. We've seen some applications kind of flying in so far. It's really important to make sure that you're as thorough as you can be. Like, what are your goals with this event? Like, how many people are you trying to unite? Where is the community based? How do you plan to get this thing off the ground? Because it is really, really important to us to make sure that we are able to, really launch into this and be able to support the best initiatives, because we can't fund everybody. We want to fund everybody, but at the first phase, that's the part of the application process, is to kind of look at it and take the first batch of the first cohort, the first
Yep.
applications based on all of the information that we get, and say, okay, this seems like a good event that we can really get behind and help support funding this type of event.
So I'm reading here to, let me see here. Michael Lepore.
Yep, Michael Lepore. I
Okay.
shared that one before. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm reading what you just, you texted us and said then your local community was 60 members and after COVID was 15. You know, Missy, and what I would like to see from you is, what do you miss of the community? What do you miss that you used to be talk? What do you miss that you guys would used to be do? So that what do you miss and that what you want to bring back to your community? Go ahead and dream with us. Type it, put it together, and say, Veronica, Justin, I want to put this back. I want to throw. I want to make a pizza party, but I wanna talk about marketing idea, business idea. How can we grow as a photographers and at the same time be together, listen and what is happening? What was our transformation, who we are right now after the period that happened in COVID, or whoever you guys want to talk. But we want that reflect in your submissions.
And that's what's really cool about this fund, is that there's not a set guideline, right? So it's not, okay, you're going to apply and it has to be this style thing, right? So the idea is to say, okay, I want in my community to throw a styled shoot or a workshop. And we're going to use this money to hire models and rent a venue.
Mhm.
And me and someone else who are really good at these two different techniques, whether it's posing or like off camera flash or whatever it is, we've united and we want to throw this free event for our community. And we're going to use this to kind of cover the costs. Or just like you said, it could be something as simple as, hey, I got like 25 photographers who are all struggling to figure out TikTok. I've got a really good thing going on TikTok. I think I'd be a great person to host a party with these 25 photographers, and we're going to have pizza and food and different things, whatever it may be. And we want you guys to support it.
But we want to see, we really want to see the reason. And when we read the reason, we're going to see your soul, because that is the whole point. The whole point is support each other. And that's what Aftershoot I'm putting. You can say the number.
Yeah, so that $1 million fund is for exactly that. So, again, the funding is going to vary based on the type of event and
Yep.
what the things to qualify that event are. I do want to address like a Laporte's question. Can we apply for swag that are Aftershoot branded? There is something in the works for this. We don't have it finalized yet, but there's something in the works. So those hosts will have some sort of care package sent to them as well. So there'll be something to share with all of the attendees as well.
I will recommend to start writing your ideas. We have a deadline, then we sadly we want to extend it. So my recommendation will be start writing your ideas, picture it, what do you guys feel and what do you guys want to do, and make the submission.
Yeah, absolutely. So the deadline is coming up, right? It's August 22nd, I believe. I
22nd.
totally scrolled off my thing. I think it's August 22nd or August 23rd, but it's coming up pretty quickly. So you want to make sure that you put together that really solid application. Now, this is not the only round. So if you're looking to apply and you can't get the details together before, don't worry. Or if you don't make it through on the first round, there is going to be another one this year and 4 next year. So we are already pre-planning to spread this out over the course of the next year and a half. So we do recommend, it's really good to get that first initial attempt in there as well. So if you can put it together, absolutely do it. I would say try not to phone it in too much. Juliana, thank you. It is August 23rd.
23rd.
So yeah, absolutely want to make sure that
Julian is the mastermind in all this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
And so Rebecca had a great question. Are there any specific ideal elements that we're looking for in proposals? And I think we touched a little bit base on this, but I think we always want to know, like, first and foremost, how many people do you want to attend, or are you expecting to attend? And the reason this matters is just because we wouldn't want to give like a huge lump sum of money to say, a 5-person workshop and then have somebody who has 50 people getting a smaller amount. So we kind of want to delegate it based on what the overall goal is with it. So how many attendees we're looking to have, but also really thorough planning, right? So if you are going to do, like I said, maybe a photo walk type of an event, knowing, for instance, what an approximate cost for a model is, or what it might cost to do a styled shoot at a venue, what these costs might be. Having that information in the proposal also helps us along too, because we can say, oh, okay, if we know that the models and this and that costs $500 already, and you have 50 people who want to attend, it really helps us say, okay, we probably should increase the budget for that particular event just to accommodate for it. So again, as much detail as you have and what your goals are. I did see somebody else also just posted, they're aiming to grow their community to 500 before 2025. And that's a great goal to have, right? So if you have a community already, a network of people, even if it's 25 people or 100 people, it doesn't matter. If you have a community already and you think that hosting one of these workshops or events can help you grow that community alongside of growing that community beyond just yourself, but in your local area, that's really helpful as well.
Yeah, share us your idea. How do you want to do? And let's see if you're one of the winners.
Yeah, absolutely. So
And Braulio too,
yeah,
right?
yeah. So this is a great one. I have an educational group on Facebook with 16,000 members. And after a very successful workshop in Las Vegas, I want to host my first international workshop in Madeira Island, Portugal. And I would love to have you guys on board. So that's another great request. And this is something that maybe better strategized actually talking to the the president over here. So president of partnerships, this may be something that doesn't necessarily need to
Yes.
fall into the grant, but we can absolutely connect you with Veronica. If you've already got communities, you've already got larger spaces, and you're looking to kind of elevate your educational platform a little bit further, this is the perfect person to talk to. So we'll definitely get you guys connected.
Yeah, but I want to share something. So this opportunity is not for ambassadors. This opportunity is not for affiliates or partners. As ambassadors and affiliates or partners, is something that I was sharing in our, one-to-one conversation is we are educators, and what we like when we do educational, we like to bring to our community. So for all our ambassadors, then I can see are now in the live in this live. So I will encourage you guys to supporting us and share to your community what is this, and bring to the community this opportunity. For ambassadors and partnership, you guys know you guys can reach out to me directly, but this is focus and communities and your audience and your community. Then I will invite you guys to share with them and bring them the value that I know you guys, that the reason why you as an educator and you're bringing it to them.
Absolutely. And that's a great point. And I wanted to highlight Sandra's comment. I mean, I know there's so many awesome, like, hey, this is amazing
Yeah, it's Sandra
comments.
Day.
Yeah. So that it's, it's such a cool initiative, and we're really proud of it. So we're really excited to be able to again just unite community, and that's what's most important here. I gave a really good example. So I was speaking with someone a few days ago about this program in particular and why it's so important. And when I started out as a photographer, I was unlucky because I didn't know these communities even existed. And so I was charging, I think, like $1,000 per wedding. And I thought it was the great money. I was like, ooh, that's big money. And then I went to 1,250 because I was like, I'm rocking it.
Yeah.
The first time I sat down with these communities and was able to actually communicate with other photographers in my area and get a better understanding of rates, I was like literally 4 times less than every other photographer doing equal quality of work. So for me, it really helped me grow as a photographer and understand more of the business aspect of it. I got introduced to different things that I needed for my business, how to better, that's where I found my accountant, like all of these different things through this community.
Everything,
It
people,
helped me grow.
tools. So you guys, so that's what we wanted. That you guys build a community, grow your community, and support each other, because that's what happened with us. We met a lot of people in the industry, and this meet and greets and this type of events then brings a lot of value to us. Then we liked to all my ambassadors are here, and everyone that is here spread the news, share, and be able to bring this opportunity for other photographers like we were in our start days.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I would probably still be charging like $1,500 for a wedding.
And I'm probably gonna be mad.
Yeah, and you would definitely be mad. So definitely a value to have a community like that put together. Blake had a really good question, and actually, I was going to recommend this. So I think this is a really good use of this thing. So if you have and it doesn't have to be like an Aftershoot ambassador or anybody like that, but let's just say there's an educator in your area that you would love to bring in and hire to give a course to a bunch of photographers. That's a great use of this, right? So if you're looking, immediately comes to my mind is like in our area, like Jacqueline Greenberg or Esteban Gill or Cole Harper. Like we have so many amazing people in Connecticut, incredible photographers that would be able to teach something. So if these funds are going to go towards maybe having them host a photo walk or teaching new techniques or something, that's
amazing.
That's a fantastic use of it. So again, just uniting the community to learn something to get something out of it. I'm going to show Juliana's comment really quick because this is super important for those larger events. So if you're already kind of an established community owner, this is the person to reach out to. You can just shoot it to partnerships@aftershoot.com. We'll all get it and be able to review it, and we can look at, for instance, the Portugal would be amazing opportunity to get involved in. So um,
Also, I wanna just highlight, if we have a Spanish speakers that would like to, ask questions in Spanish, please do it. Hola, Randall. So we speak Spanish. So you
fantastic.
guys feel
Yeah.
free to ask the question, because uh, this is for all communities.
Yep.
So
We
please,
want to support all different communities
yes,
all around the world. So we're
don't
really
hesitate
excited
to
for it.
ask
Yeah.
your question in Spanish, because I will answer them.
Yeah, absolutely. So Blake, you're on fire with the questions here. Is there a certain level we have to be able to apply? The only stipulation to this, like the only place you need to be in your journey, is that you can't be like a known educator, right? So this isn't like an opportunity for someone incredible like Madeline, who's right below you. She's a known educator, travels around the world teaching. So this isn't an opportunity for her to apply for funding. She would work more directly with our partnerships team. Whereas, anybody below that level, so anybody if you're an aspiring educator, or if you're just somebody who has a lot of friends in the community that you want to unite, you're welcome to apply and encouraged to apply. You're the people that we want, right? As the people on the ground who really are working hand in hand with their community, working together to build the community further.
And that's what we want to support.
And I just have to show this off because we're such a huge help, and I love it. It saves me so much time. Wow. Okay. We got a lot of comments. They're coming flying in. So we're going to actually take a quick look at Melissa's. So Melissa was afraid to join the main community in Northern Ireland. Now you're the vice president and to take over. So that's exactly the idea behind this initiative. Is there's so many amazing, talented photographers, and because of all of the different things that have happened over the years, whether it's COVID and social media kind of taking the place of in-person meetups and that sort of stuff, this is the best way for people to kind of really connect, sit down and have these really valuable conversations. Because we just actually filmed the podcast with the amazing Serafin Castillo, all about imposter syndrome, right? Yes. And like how many of us walk into a space and think we're not good enough, or we're not the best photographers out there, or whatever it may be. But when you're in a room full of creatives and you're all kind of communicating and it's a very open dialogue, you start to realize like, oh, we're all here in this together. We're all have strengths. We all have weaknesses, and together we can all be better. And that's really like the initiative behind this community, is to really like together we're better than if we're against each other.
Yeah, that is better be together. This is much better be together. With Madeleine, I think, make a comment so we can encourage every Spanish speaker can.
Yes.
You can do it because you're good too.
Absolutely. Better start practicing our Portuguese. Obrigado.
No.
But no. Yeah.
Eu falo pouquitinho. Entiendo todo, pero falo pouquitinho.
Yeah, absolutely. And so Madeline says, esto hace que Aftershoot se eleve a otro nivel porque sí están preocupando por la comunidad y la educación. And that's true.
That's true. That's our motivation. We are really care about the community, and we care about education. As a photographer, we are, right? We understand what I always say this because, as a wedding photographers, we know what is there 10 hours. And sometimes we don't drink water. Sometimes, work hard, get back to the house and do all this process. So after she understands that, after she knows this, that's what, besides they save the time and give us our time back with the amazing program that we have. We want to bring more value. We want to bring more to the community, because that was the idea since day one. And that is the reason, like even us, we are right now in Madrid in Spain. The reason we are here, because we love community. We love to see them cherry photographers. We love to listen, and because it's always a learning process. Share ideas, know what is the needed of the market, what is the needed of the photographer that they are doing day by day wedding portraits, boudoir, whatever photo type of photographer you are doing, we would like to do. And that is one also the idea you guys can take it to make everybody together, because Spanish is
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. So yeah, we've spent some time. I do know a little bit of Spanish, so I can communicate a little bit in Spanish when applicable.
Like I know
So
a little bit of English, so I can communicate it a little bit with English.
I love this. So I already shared with my friend here in the Philippines, and our ADHD brain is
Yes.
hyperfixating now. That's exactly that's what's so cool about this, right? Is just you can start looking at an idea and it can evolve and it can grow and it can start changing. So it really is such a lucky thing to be a part of, right? I'm honored to be a part of this and be able to help these communities and help them grow. Santiago coming in with
Yes.
some amazing. So hello, I'm a 16-year-old photographer from Peru. This initiative is awesome, and thanks a lot for this new opportunity to learn. And that's amazing, right? I mean, like I said, for me, when I started, I was older than that when
Muchas
I
gracias,
started. Yeah,
Santiago.
well, I was older than that when I started, and again, having that community helped me grow so much faster. It helped me
Yeah.
market better. It helped me understand like the actual parts of doing business and what it takes to run a business. So all of those things combined, these are all learning opportunities. And because this isn't like there
Even
isn't a
trust on
book.
yourself.
Yeah, there isn't a book on this stuff, right?
Yeah, it's
There's
hard to start it. Like
yeah,
when I started, was very difficult, in the industry that we work. And I always feel that maybe I don't going to be a good fit on this, and I have my issues. And I remember then I said Justin one day, like, I don't think so that I won't be able to do this, even if I like what I was doing. And it was on these communities, then I found out that I wasn't the only one. There was more people like me that feel the same way. And that also helped me to push myself and say, okay, I can do this and I can push myself. And that is also, is um, something then pushing us to do this. And as I mentioned, they started because, Juliana is our mastermind and help us to put all this together. This is an amazing opportunity to people like us with the issues we have in our starting, to people like you guys with the ADSD, with the communication, they be able to share just not only about the tools, techniques, also how you can develop your next level, or listen to experience somebody else, then you can relate it. So all this, I think, just this opportunity is going to help us to be a community, know each other, and know a little more than what is out there.
absolutely. And this, I love this comment. Leaps ahead in my career thanks to my local photography group and the people in it. And that's what we're trying to really invigorate with this program, right? I mean, it's not something that is as common as it used to be. It used to be a lot more prevalent. We had the Connecticut groups before, and I even would drive like 2 or 3 hours to go
Yeah.
visit the Boston groups. But I don't think I've even seen a Boston meetup for probably 10 years. So just being, again, having this opportunity for people to not necessarily have to upfront some costs to do this, having reason to be able to maybe bring in some higher Q talent too, right? I mean, just like we mentioned, you can
Yep.
absolutely reach out to somebody and say, hey, there's this educator in my area. He agreed to do a 1 hour workshop with us for $500 or whatever it may be. It's a great way for you guys to, again, find mentors. So maybe there's somebody in your community that you really idolize or that you think is a fantastic photographer. And by meeting them in person and like shaking their hand, it's a great opportunity to potentially become one of their mentees. Or if you are like a more prominent photographer in your area and you want to help people in your space actually learn from you, you can,
Yep.
pick up those mentees. So really just like super excited about this initiative because I wish it was around
Yeah,
15 years ago when
when
we
we are
started.
started, yeah, we wish, because I think our what we're gonna be, more smooth, like the way when we started. But never is too late, and this is the time. And you guys have Aftershoot, and please spread the news, share with everyone that you know, and give everyone the opportunity to make this. Bring all your community together, and we are here for you guys.
Absolutely. And this is a great question. Do you any minimum qualifications? There is no minimum. So you could just be anybody. Anybody
Yes.
who's got an idea to unite the community. We're not looking at like, oh, is this person like a social media influencer or anything like that. It's literally just
Yes.
your proposal, and do you think you can get together 20 people to unite in your community?
This is not about how many followers you guys have. This is not about how many events or workshops you did before. This is about you. This is about what you wish to have in the industry for you in your community. So don't hesitate to contact with us, and the application is an email to ask the question that you guys have if you are trying to access here. So you guys can go and send the email and ask, because this is amazing opportunity. Don't let it go. This is
Yeah,
amazing.
absolutely. So Paul has a really good question. Is there documentation required, or like what type of photos or video highlights of the workshop for the ones that get the grants? So the application closes August 23rd. And then from
Yeah.
there, the team's going to go to it. We're going to review it amongst a bunch of us and kind of make sure that the best proposals, or the ones that, have the most merit, will kind of rise to the top for the first batch. And then from that point, the funds will get issued, and then you'll have 3 months to create it. And so there'll be a couple stipulations tied to it, right? So we want to like emails to kind of verify that people were there. So just like the emails of the people who showed up. And then obviously we'd love to see some photos and videos and some social media posts about it, so we can share about it, because that's our goal, right? Is to be able to share about the communities that you're creating. So we want to
So we
see
can
your
inspire
posts,
it.
yeah,
Yes.
inspire others to grow the community, and hopefully help you, because you're not limited to one time. So if you get approved on the first proposal, you can apply again on the second cohort, and throw another one. So if you're throwing a good one and you've got, say, 30 people at your first one, and we're sharing it on social media, hopefully we can help connect you to other photographers in your area that maybe you didn't know existed.
And
And
with the
that
experience that you guys have, you can come with more ideas and create something bigger and different for the next time. But don't be afraid to show what you have, because I understand sometimes how it is. So just go in and put your ideas together, and we are here for you guys. As Madeleine said, yes, she said, and she knows that that's true. We are really here for the community, and that's what we is our motivation. So
Yeah.
don't
Rebecca,
hesitate. Yeah.
Rebecca had a question. Can we submit more than one proposal? I don't have a firm answer on that, but I don't see
Maybe
why not.
Juliana.
Yeah, I'm hoping Juliana can be in the comments and maybe can
Yeah.
reply to that. But yeah, absolutely. And I feel like after this live, it may make sense for you to revise a proposal if you get some ideas or get inspired. That's the hope. So Daniel actually said he applied and had a little bit different criteria. So something that's more ongoing instead of a one-time meetup, which I think is really cool. And if you're able to kind of look at the funding and find a way to make it a reoccurring event, that's another great way. I mean, if you're, let's say you own a studio, and you have enough space to host, the 10 or 20 people or whatever it may be, you can always spread that, funding, and say, okay, I want to do 3 different events for groups of 10 people, and these are the 3 speakers or the 3 topics or whatever it may be. So yeah, absolutely, getting creative is absolutely a good way to do it. Another great question, they just keep coming in on the fly. Can multiple people from the same community apply? Absolutely.
Yes.
So it's not, you can't, there's not going to be like a one fits all, right? So we may sponsor, or we may, apply the funding to both of them. We may look at one the first time and say, yeah, this one definitely has, been a little bit more thought out, or makes a little bit more sense for this round, and maybe the other one's better for the second round. So yeah, absolutely, as many all your friends can apply. Again, I think it shows more support for the area too. So if you're saying, okay, we're all in one place and there's
because we can
5 of
see
us
the needed,
applying, yeah.
and the love that you guys do have for your community to put something together. Thank you, Melissa. Mira, Mariana.
Yeah, I had to
Hey,
share that
Amber.
one. Hello, Amber. Thanks for joining in. So please do ask tons of questions because we don't want it to run too long, obviously,
Yes.
because it's pretty boring, even though our accents are really good.
Yes. You
It's
guys
pretty boring to watch us
don't
talk,
need to
but
suffer with us. I
yeah.
think Sandra
Yeah,
has a
Sanja is a
question.
great question.
Yeah.
And is this specifically for the pro photographer community? Can this be used to help empower unempowered kids? That's a great question. So this is definitely something that you can apply for, right? So you can go in and say, hey, we're looking to set up something where we can help the kids get into photography. Veronica and I like to. I mean, she is like the queen of the heart of gold. If you've ever gotten to meet her or know more about her, she's all about beyond community actually helping areas. I just found out something I didn't even know that was happening that she's helping set up, which we're super excited to be involved in. She's actually one of the big reasons that we decided to take the profits from my founder's profile and put it to charity. So absolutely, if you see a place where photography could be a useful tool, it's a really cool opportunity to get people into photography or look for ways to do it. We're going to share
Juliana answered the
Juliana's. Yeah,
question.
you
Yeah.
can submit multiple proposals. You can get up to 4 grants total during the duration of the program. So as mentioned before, there's 2 cohorts this year and then 4 next year. So you can be up to 4 out of the 6 different times that funding goes. You can actually have that funding. So
Thank you, Juliana. Thank you for being here and answer all these questions.
and then just people who know Veronica confirming that she is the heart and soul of the community, as Sandra says. Yeah, so absolutely.
Thank you.
One of our cool things that we love to just get behind causes
Yes.
that we can really, really support.
Yes, guys, this is not about a brand and a corporation and visit. And I think this is something that I always say. They like to repeat it because this is about us. Us. This is about us to grow. This is about us to support each other. This is about us to don't see each other as a competitors. This is about us to see each other as a friends, as a partner, as a I have this idea for you, then I think this is gonna work good for you. And again, share with everyone that you guys know. We don't need followers. We don't need a person that has a big name or doing. We don't need that. We need souls. We need believers. We need a person who wants to put community together and bring value to the community. That's what we needed. That's what we wanted. That's what the Aftershoot is all about.
Yes, this is a great question. There is a place, there is a link to apply for the grant. I hopefully, if Juliana can actually share, because I don't think I can do it without accidentally closing out the tab. But if she can share it, or someone from the team can absolutely share it, I'll put it up here.
Yeah.
So that way it's
Maybe
there.
Juliana is connected with us.
Yeah, absolutely. Sanjay, again, another great point here. I'm seeing this as a vehicle to go beyond just teaching kids photography, but actually helping them become empowered in life by discovering their abilities and vision. And that's like such a profound statement, right? And that's one of the really cool things about this initiative is that it can go towards something where you can absolutely, that's community building at ground zero, right? That's going from no community to really helping empower a community that may be at a disadvantage. Daniel's asking, does this have to be in person? Going back to what I said, the community I'm already building is an ongoing every other week virtual meetup. So this is focused on the in-person side of things because we want to try and get more people to actually sit down together and have these conversations and learn from each other. The virtual space is really useful, right? There's like tons of virtual areas. And it's not to say that it's a no to the virtual space, because I do think there's some initiatives already cooking for this sort of thing to work on that. But yeah, absolutely.
Also, I use some word. I always use the humanizing. I create a word.
Humanizing.
I create a word humanizing because we're humans. We're a people. We are a person. Then we can be creative. We can be an artist. But at the end of the day, we are parents. We are husbands, wife, people. We are people who has goals, who are dreaming. So feels like being person is better to be communicated and be able to be, be in touch and create bonds and create community.
Yeah, absolutely. Another great question
Juliana shared the
is,
links,
yeah,
by the
I'll
way.
I'll post that. I'll put that up in one moment. But is the funding amount based on the scale of the proposal? That's a really great question. It is to some extent, right? So, we want to make sure that these funds can last for the full 2 years. So we're making sure that we're not necessarily going to put $5,000 on a 5-person workshop. We're really kind of focused on how can your proposal scale with it. So if you have a larger audience or a larger expected attendance, obviously will require more space. So you may need to rent a hall and that sort of stuff. So that will scale with the proposal as well. So if you're coming and saying, okay, we have a community or a Facebook group of 50 people that we'd like to get together. We need to rent, the local VFW or something like that, and it's going to be $500. Then that's a much more sound proposal to spend more on than it would be if you were saying, okay, I've got 10 people that we know are going to come. We want the 5,000. So there's some scale to it, but obviously the proposal, the more thorough you can be with the proposal and the vision behind the proposal, the easier it is to kind of link and understand to what the funds actually would go to and how we should spend them. So, yeah, that's a great one. Let me share Juliana's comment really quick. We're going to show that. So it is aftershoot.com/create-together-fund/. So that's where you can go apply for it.
Share it with your community, share it with your friends, just copy the link and share with everyone and bring everyone that doesn't know this opportunity to have to create something for their community. So share it.
Absolutely. Paul has another good question. Man, you guys are
I
like
love,
on
yeah, I love it.
why aren't you guys ever like this when it's just me talking? Like this has been the easiest live ever. Everyone's
I
asking
know.
questions. Paul says, should the attendees be all photographers or it's mixed like sample coffee club enthusiasts? So the idea behind it is really to focus on
Yes.
the photography community because we're trying to, again, just elevate photographers. That's a space that we know that it's really important for us to all be kind of like-minded and gathering and talking and bouncing ideas off of each other. Again, community over competition is always a great way to look at it. And that's something that we definitely want to make sure we do. Shannon, I see your comment. Thank you so much for jumping in. Jessica, thank you for doing this for the community.
Yeah, and
Thank you
also
for what you do.
exactly that's what I want to say that Jessica, thank you for what you do. You are traveling, create these meetups with your community, and we've been watching you. We're watching everything you do, and I like the way you empower them. You share your experience, so thank you for what you're doing, and that's what we also want to encourage everyone. That this is so important, and um, talking to you, reading your letter is for us is uh, let us know that we are in the correct path and this is what we have to do, and you are such a big inspirations for us. So thank you for being here, and thank you for continue create also this building a community, and that's what we want. Everyone have the opportunity
Yeah.
to
So,
create this.
so for those who don't know, Jessica runs the Bloom community, which
Yes.
is a place for photographers to really get off the ground, right? So this is a huge initiative. It's a very pleasant zone. It's not meant to be one of those ones where those beginner photography groups where you go and somebody's like being rude and a jerk and everybody. It's really an encouraging,
Yeah.
helpful environment. So it's such a cool. And we're honored that you're excited about this initiative too.
Yes.
So absolutely. Sean is asking, might have been asked, but when can people expect to hear if they've been selected? So August 23rd, the applications are going to close. It's going to take us a few weeks to get through them because obviously there's a pretty significant amount of applications. So we have to kind of go through and look at all the proposals and kind of line them up and organize everything. So it'll take a few weeks post that. And then we'll reach back out to everybody. So whether you've been selected or whether we, have suggestions on ways that we can improve that event for maybe the next round, whatever it may be. But yeah, this is ongoing, so it doesn't just end. So
and
even
I
if
really
you,
they're gonna receive emails, but also we're gonna make a big announcement. And who for the ones already submitted and the ones gonna start sharing about this wonderful initiative. follow our Facebook community, follow our social media, and every time you guys receive a newsletter from us, open it. Don't let it go, because probably that is the news that you guys were waiting for.
Yeah,
So
absolutely. Shannon had a great question. Would the funding be available to open a photography studio in my community or just for event? So we're really more focused on events because we want to, again, try and get the community together. So if you had a community of photographers that were going to create a studio together, maybe it's something that we can get behind. But again, it's really about trying to support each other and help us all grow together. And that's an amazing dream. So don't don't give up on that dream, because
no,
that is really having a space for other photographers to rent and get involved in is
Juliana
really
is the best. She answered. She helped
okay.
us with that. So you guys can
Oh yeah,
ask everything, because
there you
if
go.
we don't have the specific
Yeah,
answer, Juliana
Juliana's
is here for that.
Juliana's the mastermind, so she's definitely here. Yeah, Shannon's here via Jessica, so again, that's awesome. So Francisco has a great question. Can an ambassador in one niche of photography collaborate with a fellow ambassador in another as long as the proposal is explained in depth? So unfortunately, Francisco, you're denied. So the ambassadors are not eligible for this program.
No.
But what's really cool about that is that you guys have a direct link to the boss over here. So if you have a proposal or you want to do something as an ambassador, just shoot her a message and say, hey, I had this
Yeah,
idea.
they know. Use me.
Yeah.
I'm your tool.
Use her, but this is more for the community building side of things.
Yes.
So uniting photographers. So ambassadors are ineligible. Melissa Wright coming back in the PPA of Northern Ireland. We have 38 female photographers and 18 male photographers, which is amazing. And we'd love to get workshops here. We're a nonprofit organization. So yeah,
Oh, I love this.
yeah, the girls are taking over. That's awesome.
I like it.
And absolutely, we love that. And again, we hope to be able to support it and give you guys some tools. And if we can do anything, where to find us.
So
Let
what
us
is
know.
happening right now? But see, Jessica found somebody, and
Yeah.
this is what it is about. We are creating a community, having this chat. So now I'm thinking we are in the screen, but how is it gonna be the feeling be together?
Yeah,
In
exactly. You can
person.
see Jessica in the comments, and that's exactly what it's all about, is having everyone here. So yes, Juliana as a marketer. Yeah. So from marketing, please open all of the emails.
Yes, please.
Absolutely. And then Sean, yes, we love you. We're so happy. Yeah, that's really awesome. So thank you guys so much for for joining us. I'm gonna
Yes.
just quickly scroll through and make sure that Sandra says, do me a favor and ignore my app. She didn't read the whole email. Hey, but you read the email, so that's a good start. But yeah, absolutely. Be sure to join the Aftershoot community. So if you're tuning in on YouTube or on the Aftershoot page, so we have a Facebook community, the Aftershoot community. Thank you, social media team, for putting that up here.
Yeah, that's amazing.
It's a great place to just connect with other photographers. We have our in-app support, so if you have any issues with the application or you need help there, we have a full team devoted to that. But the community is really like a fun place to show your before and afters and show different things that you're excited and proud about. Kelly is so excited for this for her students. Amazing. Just some reminder for larger events. Yep. Juliana's going faster than us. So, I think we pretty much timed out unless any last minute questions come in. But we're so just honored to be able to take part in photographers' photography journey. I think, to put it simply, building community, working with you guys, saving you time, all of the different things. We're just happy to be a part of it.
Yeah, we are very happy. Well, I want to thank Gary. Then Gary is here. He's also our ambassador for Canada. And Gary, share with everyone. Share with all of them. We really want to give everyone the opportunity. I want to thank everyone's here to be with us, sharing and help us to spread the news that what we are doing is very important for us. And the ones are our ambassadors. Don't be afraid to submit it. Don't be afraid to just put your idea. The only thing we're looking to see is I want to see your soul there. I want to see what your heart, what are you guys are doing, what is the purpose of this. That's what we want to see. Don't use ChatGPT. I'm watching you guys.
Yeah, no chat GPT
I'm watching you
applications. Put
guys.
your
I'm
heart and
watching
soul
you.
into it.
Put your heart and soul.
And Shannon, yeah, absolutely. Submit that application because it's definitely something, be as thorough as you can, like what the plan is, how it would all work. Because if it's something that we can get behind, we absolutely want to make sure we do get behind it. And Melissa, of course, yay. We're so excited that you got all those done. Thank you all so much for tuning in. If you have any questions at all about this initiative, the Aftershoot community, or an email. So the Aftershoot community is a great place to get in touch with just general team, or you can shoot an email over as well, and we can
before say
to
goodbye to you guys, please open the emails. I don't mind to email them again. Estoy my ambassadors. I don't mind to do it again. But open the email. We have an amazing team in marketing. We have an amazing team in product, and we are working day and night to bring just not only the best product, to create, to grow with you guys hand by hand. Open the newsletter, follow all our social networks, because we always are communicated. And if you have any question, don't hesitate to ask us. We have different channels that you guys can ask, whatever doubt that you guys have.
Thank you all so much for tuning in. We'll review the comments here as well. So if you're commenting here, tag one of us and we're happy to answer any questions. Thank you all for tuning in.
Bye. We're back to America tomorrow.